Hi everyone, I promised you this video regarding love. It took a little longer, had quite a bit to do the last couple of weeks. Okay, I'm here. Love, right, let's get straight to it. Unconditional love. It always seems to be something that I'm questioned whenever doing a ceremony. You're probably not going to like the answer, but unconditional love doesn't exist in a materialistic world for those who don't understand it. Doesn't exist. It can't exist because in a materialistic world, one person will want to own another one once they're in love. Through marriage, it's a unity to say that you're with each other through thick and thin till death do us part. What does that mean? That means you have to tolerate the other person's behavior if you wish to stay with them. So you commit to tolerance. Tolerance is control. Control is not unconditional love. Now, the worst part about it is unconditional love actually means no love. No love in this world whatsoever. Unconditional love is something that the human body, mind cannot tolerate whatsoever. You can't tolerate unconditional love. Unconditional love is basically walking away from love. It's basically you marry someone, and if you're with someone and it's not working, you stay there, you listen to things, you cry, you get upset, you want to compromise, you don't want to leave that person because you love them. The other person may want to leave you because they're fed up with you, vice versa. All that is conditional love. Unconditional love is basically two people, one gets upset and the other one says, you know what, I love you, but I'm leaving. They leave. They love you. They're being cruel to be kind. That's unconditional love. So again, unconditional love does not exist within a materialistic world unless you're someone who is very native from a tribe whereby a leader can have 6 or 7 wives. It doesn't mean that it has to be a male leader. It could be a female leader and she can have 6 or 7 husbands. It does exist. It exists in certain places in China, equally as it exists in places like the Amazon, or even when it comes down to religions. But we won't talk about religions because religions confuse the whole case. Religions put it down to that if you marry, that you're committed through till death do us part, as I've said before. That's condition, that's control. Have I loved the women in my life? Absolutely. Would I have liked to have stayed together? Absolutely. But you know, when someone portrays relationship in a different way, which involves materialism, tradition, all these factors, then it's not love. It's coexisting. Do you wish to coexist with someone because you say you love them? Do you tolerate that other person because you love them? So if you tolerate someone else because you love them, that means they're controlling you. That's not unconditional love. Me, as a shaman, over the years, have met several ladies, if you want to call it, fell in love. I've had children. But ultimately, whenever you get a breakup, the moment there's a thought of a breakup, then obviously there's an element of control by one or the other. It can be portrayed wrongly by one to the other, absolutely. Someone will think that they're doing right, but in fact they're not, they're doing wrong. It's not talking about anyone specific, it's just generalizing. And as a shaman, I find it virtually impossible to be with a woman. Do I like women company? Absolutely. But you know, I have a real outgoing personality, and that personality gets misunderstood. And the moment someone misunderstands you is the moment that is lost, because they feel that you have an agenda. They feel that something's not right, so they go and put these walls up, these brick walls, to prevent you from getting in. Again, this is not love. It's not unconditional love, and it's definitely not love. The best way I could say for anyone to get on with another person is, in the material world, is basically through coexisting, because that's what materialistic love is between two people. It's coexisting. It's putting up with each other's behaviors. And I think the worst thing I've ever heard in this world is when you hear someone say, "I'm looking for my soulmate." I find it, to be honest, one of the most stupidest things I've ever heard, because a soulmate is something that, that we can say is after we die, we go back and we meet them. How is that possible? Because no one can answer that. That's the point. No one can answer that. So I just find it sad that, in my case as a person, that I'm misjudged all the time. People think that I would have an agenda, and yet if they just flowed with me, they would have a beautiful life. But I don't think I'll ever find that. Because once someone connects with you, it then starts changing to that control element and paranoia or jealousy. All this, it all comes down. And I think the worst form of love is when two people start fighting. When two people start fighting, or the first argument comes in where there is mental abuse to the other, then that's when you walk away straight away. You walk away because you love them, because you don't want to hurt them anymore, and you don't equally want to be hurt yourself. So imagine, the perfect love can be two people in unity, not questioning each other, and understanding that the other person is there for them no matter what. But that has to come from both parties, both of you. It can't come from one side. In my life, I've always found that it's been one-sided, that I've always done my best to make someone happy, and then that would get misunderstood to say, well, if I'm trying to make them happy, I must have a hidden agenda. And none of it's true. Do I like having somebody with me? Yeah, I would, but I think for me, I'm at the end of the road now, being a shaman, that I don't think I could have somebody in my life all the time now. If you can share yourself with someone and have a beautiful moment, and you don't consider anything else as ownership, but just beautiful moments, and walking away and saying what a beautiful soul that you have shared with, then surely that's better than conflict and upset. I'll talk about this more if you want, with anyone. You take care now. Bye everyone. Good night.